Beowulf has triumphed over all his enemies. But finally, there comes a day when he has to face his last and most difficult adversary, the dragon. With 11 other warriors, Beowulf goes to investigate the dragon's attacks. He discovers the original thief that enraged the dragon. The thief leads them to the dragon's lair. The Geats pause on top of the cliff. Beowulf is sad, sensing that his death is near. Here, Beowulf gives a long speech recalling his past achievements and his path to kinghood. Some of the things he remembers: that as a 7-year-old boy, he was sent by his father to the court of King Hrethel. Remember, King Hrethel is the father of Hygelac. King Hrethel treated him like one of his own sons, where Beowulf grew up alongside the other 3 princes of the kingdom. The Swedes and the Geats, 2 different tribes of Swedish descent, continue with their feuds. Beowulf became one of the lords in King Hygelac's court. Hygelac gave him land and wealth. As one of Hygelac's lords, Beowulf killed a great Frankish warrior with his bare hands. At the end of his speech, Beowulf makes his last boast. Boasting was a formal part of a warrior's culture, and especially important for great men. Beowulf's last boast is that he won battles often in his youth, and that even in his old age he's going to fight the dragon for the glory of winning. Before leaving them, Beowulf says a few words to his followers. He tells them that he wishes he could fight the dragon hand to hand, the way he fought Grendel when he was young, instead of using a sword. However, even Beowulf realizes that this would be very difficult, and so he goes out to fight the dragon with a sword, a mail shirt, and a shield. Beowulf proceeds into the burrow to fight the dragon. He shouts out a challenge, and the dragon, recognizing a human voice, bursts forward, breathing fire. There is a bizarre battle scene. Beowulf is trying to use his sword, his shield. The dragon is writhing around and trying to burn him to a crisp. Beowulf swings his sword, but only gives the dragon a minor cut. The wound angers the dragon, and he steps up his attack. Beowulf's sword fails for the first time. He has to retreat. He is humiliated. The dragon takes a deep breath and hits Beowulf with another blast of fire. Beowulf is close to being defeated. 10 of Beowulf's hand-picked men break ranks and run for their lives into the woods nearby. Only one remains: Wiglaf. Wiglaf remembers how well Beowulf has treated him and his family. Wiglaf, bearing his father's sword and mail shirt, will enter the battle for the first time at Beowulf's side, fighting the dragon. Before rushing to Beowulf's aid, Wiglaf lectures his companions, reminding them of how good a king Beowulf has been and how generously he has rewarded them for their loyalty. Wiglaf says that even though Beowulf wanted to face the dragon alone, he clearly needed their help. Wiglaf also says that he would rather die fighting the dragon than go home to the rest of the Geats a coward. Wiglaf goes to Beowulf's side and encourages him, reminding him of his boasts, his great deeds, and his fame. The dragon attacks again, charring and destroying Wiglaf's shield. Beowulf has to share his shield with Wiglaf now. Inspired by Wiglaf's encouragement, Beowulf swings his sword at the dragon again, and it snaps. The narrator explains that Beowulf is fated to have bad luck with edged weapons in battle because he's too strong and his powerful strokes are too much for the weapons to bear. The dragon attacks a third time, biting Beowulf in the neck. Blood rushes everywhere. Seeing Beowulf in danger, Wiglaf lunges forward, stabbing the dragon in the belly. Its firepower becomes less. Beowulf draws a knife from his belt and stabs the dragon in the side. This wound finally kills the dragon. The narrator praises Beowulf and Wiglaf for their courage. The dragon has been defeated, but Beowulf's wound is getting worse. He realizes that he has been poisoned. He finds a place to sit on the side of the barrow, looking at the massive structure. Wiglaf washes Beowulf's wounds. Beowulf realizes that he's dying, and he says that the last things he needs to say. He explains to Wiglaf that he would have wanted to bestow his armor on his son. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a son. Beowulf recalls his long reign over the Geats. He has been a king for 50 years, and all the neighboring kings were too afraid to attack or even challenge him. He also behaved honestly and justly, which makes him feel a little better because he knows that God will not be angry with him in the next life. Beowulf orders Wiglaf to go into the barrow, look at the treasures, and bring back some so that he can see before he dies. Wiglaf obeys Beowulf's dying wish, goes into the barrow where he finds the amazing piles of treasures, all of it rusting and decaying. He's able to see everything because there is a glowing golden overhead light in there. The dragon is gone, killed by Wiglaf's sword. Wiglaf quickly fills his arms with gold and treasures. He hurries back to Beowulf. He's hoping that the king is still alive. Beowulf is alive, but he's bleeding profusely. Wiglaf begins to clean the king's wounds again as the king gazes on the treasure. Beowulf thanks God for his last glance of the treasure and the fact that he's going to die well endowed with gold, the things he has traded his life for, the golden hoard. Beowulf orders Wiglaf to build a barrow for him on the coast after his body has been burned on a funeral pyre. This barrow will be visible to ships and will remind people of Beowulf's great deeds. Beowulf takes off his golden collar and gives it to Wiglaf, the last member of his clan, now that Beowulf is dying. Beowulf dies.